everybody. Well, let's put it this way. Hey, gay. Last Monday, Cyber Monday, I went online, ordered a new external hard drive. Yes. So I've spent the week dumping a lot of stuff onto it. It's like most of my issues are because of all the YouTube videos. They're saved on the computer, and so yeah, I spent most of the time this week transferring them. Hi, Mendocino. Transferring them onto the new hard drive. Hi, Renee. Oh, so yes, I'm going to be really honest today. It's like I woke up today not feeling good. It's the weather, the RSD, CRPS is just like playing havoc with me. So I've been popping the Compazine to stay high, so I can stay hydrated. And of course, I don't know about anybody else. It's like, hey, you've got, I admit it, I've got green stuff coming out of my nose and I'm feeling a little bit warm. So it's just like feeling icky. And I'm supposed to have some friends come over today. But honestly, I had to reach out to them and say, we got to reschedule to next week. I am just not. After this, I'm going back to bed. I'm just feeling is pretty nasty. Yeah, Compazine, but we found out that because I'm hypersensitive to so many of the new stuff, good old-fashioned Compazine works the best for me to relieve the nausea. I mean, yeah, I have lost some weight. Some of the one time I was in the ER because I was having a really bad RSD flare and stuff, and the one doctor, he came over, he goes, oh, I'm giving you this for the nausea to stay hydrated. And it was like this new stuff, and it's like it dissolves on your tongue, and I'm like, oh my God, it has artificial sweetener with it. I spit it out on him, and I said, no, I take old Compazine, that's what works. He goes, but I go, that has artificial sweetener, and I'm a hypersensitive, it'll make me sick. Well, he didn't believe it. He made me stay and take one in front of him while I grabbed his lab coat. And within 30 seconds, it was back dripping down the front of him. He's like, oops. I go, yeah. Listen to the patients. Maybe we know better. And ironically, when I had my fall back on August 29th, that was the same ER doc that I saw. And I said, he goes, I know. Okay. He goes, go for the old school stuff. I remember you. You were the one who threw up on me. I go, bingo. He goes, I guess I have to be careful. I go, well, listen. And then he looks at who my doctors are. He goes, oh, yeah, got to listen or else you're going to call these dudes up. I'm like, you got it. I go, in fact, you should be calling one of them right now, calling upstairs, because I know at least one of them is in the building. Hey, Morgan. Oh, yes. I know it's getting close to lunchtime. So, of course, everybody's going to be cooking. But, remember, hey, I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient. So, everyone, hey, remember, it's entertainment only. Dropping the link in case anybody has any questions or you want to pop in for comments. And I know I've got all my people who are watching over on Twitter X, and I want to say hi to you guys. And I did have to reach out and put the link up for a bunch of people over on Truth Social, so I hope you're watching. Because, I do get a lot of information, and because of growing up, bouncing back and forth between America, United States, and Europe, and the Middle East a lot, I do have a lot of friends over there, and they do feed me relay to me some really tight information that needs to get out, that the normal media won't even touch. Now, I did chat with some friends of mine, and we're all laughing about all the nonsense that's happening again with Ukraine and Russia. Well, when the Z guy is booted out, that's when Putin will do a formal settlement to end things. But the Z guy has to be gone. Ixnay, out. He's nothing but a failed comedian. And all he is he's still feeding money over to the Biden and Obama business. Okay? So, yeah. And besides, the European Union, that organization, they're the idiots that have basically destroyed Europe. They're the ones that have allowed all the shitheads to come in from North Africa and the countries that the crap-ass, evil Islamic idiots, the Shia Muslims, have come over. The European Union, they're responsible for the destruction of all the crap that's happening in France and Germany and so many other countries. And now, thank goodness, it's like Greece and Italy and Spain, those countries that are protecting the northern end of the Mediterranean, they're saying F you to all the boat people. They're literally saying, gone. And I did hear, because someone was over there, and they did see, after dark, especially on the beaches around Italy, and there's a lot of ocean, there's a lot of beachfront in Italy. It's a giant peninsula into the Mediterranean Sea. What Georgia has done, but they don't make it public, is that all around the Big Boot, every so many yards, there's like a little thing where guys are stationed every evening, and if they see somebody stupid coming in off of a boat that shouldn't be there, especially they can tell because of the dark complexion, they have some target practice. And they use the tracers, that light up at night so they can see where things are going. And they started it on the island of Sicily, and now they're doing it all around the boot. And now Greece is basically doing the same thing, because Greece had them try to take over a couple 100 years ago, and they're like, no way, ain't happening. Because way back when Turkey was trying to take over Greece, the Greek military needed more lead for their ammunition, and so they were literally dismantling the ancient temples, because back then they used lead to hold the pillars in place. So Turkey was the Ottoman Empire wanted Greece, and they realized, oh my God, they're just, because they wanted all the ancient temples and so forth, and they realized the Greeks were, to defend their own country, were dismantling the temples. So the Ottoman Empire actually was sending them ammunition. Go back and dig it up. That's a story I heard from one of my dad's friends ages ago. Some of his best buddies were Greeks. But we're going to see more and more of Spain and Italy and Greece protecting Europe from any more of the Islamic invasion. And we know that in Hungary, Viktor Orban is like F you to all these assholes, and it's going to remain that. We're going to be seeing more and more countries in Europe aligning themselves with Georgia and Viktor's ideology. And right now there's some big shit happening in France. because there's some people who are following the example of Georgia and Victor. And Macron is sweating bullets. And the loony lefties in France are like sweating bullets because they're like, oh my God, we're getting more and more right-wing people saying no, and they're trying to compare the new version of the right wing. They're saying, oh, you're just like Hitler's right wing. No, we're not. We're the center people who fought against Hitler. And this is what we're trying to return to throughout Europe. And this is the ideology that Vlad has going on in Russia, because he doesn't want the Islamic idiots. And now go back, and people are having fits because go back with Afghanistan. People were upset that Russia was in there. Well, Russia saw that the Taliban was starting to destroy the country. And we were dealing with Clinton, and the idiots here didn't want to try to keep Afghanistan a good country. And it was the Russians who went in to try to decimate the Taliban. And they were bullied into pulling out. Well, the Taliban just is basically one of the evil shitheads. And Vlad is going to sit and talk to these people and tell them that Vlad is going to be the one working with Victor and Georgia to remove the Islamic idiots out of Europe. And don't be surprised if, hi Solarian, I'm getting that William is actually, we know he talks to Donald on a regular basis. And let's put it this way. Donald has been having conference calls with William and Vlad, talking about future plans. Because it'll be Vlad who's going to step up and will help William clean up the mess that his dad Chucky and his friends Sadiq and Keir have made out of the UK. William is he's gonna get assistance from Vlad to help clean up the UK. And he's going to be reaching out to Donald for advice, because right now Donald has been giving William more political guidance to bring back a great country, to rescue it. And it's going to be a mess. And William is talking with his Uncle Andy, because Andy does have the real military experience that his daddy never had. Yeah. William's going to be talking to Andy, his Uncle Andy. And Andy is going to be Andy will be giving his nephew really, really good military advice. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Online. Okay. Yeah, I'm letting somebody know where to find me. Online. Yeah. Okay. No, we're going to get, William is going to be talking to that, and yeah, Henry is going to be stuck. We're getting a lot of more and more news about Henry, and because Charles does actually own Highgrove as independent, that's the property that will go to Henry. And it is a big estate, and in proper management, it will be self-supporting. So Henry will be packed off to live at Highgrove, along with Henry does have kids, because he did mess around with a lot of people, and being a stupid idiot, he didn't wear a raincoat. So the kids that have no connection to Rachel, they will have bedrooms at Highgrove. Because Henry does have some kids from some women. One's up in Canada that I keep getting word on. And there's a couple other hey, he messed around, okay? Henry messed around, and there's a few, some Fitzroys kicking around the UK. And it will be revealed, yes, he does. There are some Fitzroy kids kicking around the UK, and they will be able to go and visit their bio dad when he's finally in residence at Highgrove. Okay. Hi, Maria. Thank you for jumping in. Let me put the link in case anybody wants to pop in today. Okay. But yeah, Henry's, as for Rachel, right now she's in such a pile of horse mud, cow poop, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, let's put it this way. High Star, we've been seeing all over everybody chatting about Henry's father-in-law. Well, yeah, it would be a good thing for Henry to actually set up some sort of contact. But when that happens, it'll be because the legal proceedings for the separation will have already been started. Why is Keir Starmer and Sadiq Khan and all the other shitheads going after the Crown property agreements? If you noticed, they're not going after Chucky, because they know Chucky sucks up to the Islamic idiots. They're going after the family members who have zero tolerance for the Islamic idiots. For the people that they're going after, the residents of the guys that were following the protocol set forth by their mom and dad. And yes, I did hear, I mean, I'm going back to when I was a little kid. I'm talking single digit time. And I did overhear a discussion. And they were talking, and the men were saying, yeah, yes, he goes, my wife will stay doing her stuff and for as long as possible, because they know that the oldest will make a complete mess out of things. And hopefully he won't be in the chair for that long, so his possible children won't have a big mess to clean up. But thankfully he goes, my second son has enough brains and is completely the opposite of the oldest. So basically, hey, Phil Duke was chatting with my dad while they were playing cards, and they were talking about their kids. I mean, my dad was talking about how they kind of knew that my full brother would be a total screw up. And they were talking about, hey, my siblings and Phil Duke's kids. They were comparing notes. So Philip knew. I'm talking, this was back in the late 1960s, very early 1970s. I'd say this was between 68 and 73 that I heard this being discussed. And Philip knew that Charles was going to make a fucking mess out of the UK. And that's why Charles is allowing them to really, really go after Andy. And now they're going after Eddie. Because it's upon Charles' orders. Because Charles doesn't want them to have people believe what they're going to say and come out to say. Okay? And it's going to explode big time. It won't be. And once Chucky's gone, I keep thinking he's going to be gone by May of 26. He won't make it for the 3 complete years. He'll be off doing his other stuff. And William will be in charge. And William thankfully does have his 2 uncles and his aunt on his father's side to give him some good guidance. And believe it or not, William has had some really good information handed to him by his Aunt Sarah and his Aunt Jane, and their husbands, and his uncle Charles, his uncle Earl Spencer. And believe it or not, there's still some Bose Lyon family members kicking around, extended cousins. Yeah. Some of the Scotts will be. You're going to see some of the Queen Mother's, the children of the Queen Mother's nieces and nephews, coming and backing up William. And William will be reinstating his Gloucester and Kent cousins into working in the family biz. And Kate is actually, well, let's put it this way. Kate's on the phone on a regular basis with Sophie. They compare notes all the time and trade off doing certain things because Sophie knows Kate's got the kids and is busy with the 3 kids. So, and then Sophie still has stuff going on with things that she has to attend for Louise and James. So Catherine and Sophie compare calendars so each of them can attend their kids' stuff, and so they pick up and swap stuff back and forth. That's what's going on with that. And once Chucky's gone, Eugenie and Beatrice will spill the beans. Hi, Lady of the Lake. They will they will spill everything. Because they know the shit that Rachel's pulling. They will come up, defend. The York girls will defend the family biz and decimate Rachel. And we know we've been seeing all the stuff on various channels talking about Harry's father-in-law. I did let some people know this, but Tommy Jr., you need to relocate back. It's time for you to come back to your hometown. Come back to the Chicago area. I mean, push comes to shove, reach out. You can track me down here on YouTube. And I know where the good doctors are, especially those who deal with diabetes. You want to get hooked up with the Endeavor healthcare system here in Illinois. We're in the Chicago area, Endeavor Healthcare. They've got several hospitals, and they're kicking Northwestern's ass. In Northwestern, let's put it this way. When I went in for the ultrasound on Monday to see what damage is visible, my ultrasound tech, she goes, the hospital that pulled that stupid maneuver basically destroyed a syringe of medication valued at over $1,000. There's a lot of unethical things happening at that hospital, that Northwestern Memorial Hospital. She goes, I wouldn't have any procedures done at any Northwestern location. And this is one of their former employees talking. So yeah, you want to go, Tom Jr., come back here to come back to the Chicago area. Have your dad treated they've got a really good diabetic care stuff at the Endeavor Healthcare Group. And they're actually, as long as you get out of Cook County and just cross west of 294, you're in DuPage County. There are several apartment buildings that are set up for people with chronic illnesses and that have a live-in caretaker. So you'd be able to find a really nice apartment that has everything set up for your dad in a wheelchair. And should your sister come up, we know she's in a wheelchair, everything will be totally easily accessible. And you've got family here. So you'll be able to see a lot of your cousins and so forth. It would be a good thing to come back here. And Tommy Jr., there is enough film and TV stuff that, yay. Okay, call up the IATSE local, okay? And they'll put you to work, or local to the stagehands, okay? You'll be doing good. Yes, and yes, I did see the pictures of Kate. And yeah, she's pulling out, let's put it this way. They're pulling out all the jewelry that hasn't been seen in ages. And you know what? It's Kate's way of just like tweaking Rachel's nose. And you're going to be seeing more and more pieces being worn by Anne and Sophie. And you know what? You're going to see pretty soon, we're going to see Louise attend a few of these big fancy dinners. Take a look at what pieces, some smaller tiaras that Lady Louise, Princess Louise, is going to wear. She is going to be knocking the socks off everybody. Louise is going to be there. She will be the one that, oh, let's put it this way. Charlotte is going to be will have her cousin Louise and her cousin Zara. They'll be like, oh my gosh. Those two gals will basically be, hey, go hang out with your cousin Louise. Go hang out with your cousin Zara and her family. And they're setting the wonderful example for Charlotte. They're going to be. And Louis, don't be surprised. It's going to be, because how William can't be too tough on Louis. But William is going to be like, okay, cousin Mikey Tyndall, Uncle Eddie, yeah, those guys are going to be like, yeah, what is it? His cousin, what's the youngest Tyndall's name? The little boy? They're going to have him and Louis hang out together under Mike Tyndall's watchful eye. And he'll be like, they're not going to be getting into it. The York girls have to stay low-key and out of the spotlight until the paperwork is formally announced that it's been filed. Because those two are, when it goes into a courtroom, and especially when it comes to the decision of who the kids are going to live with, the York girls are going to be pulled into court to testify. It's going to be nasty. And let's put it this way. Tommy Jr., all he has to do is make it publicly known. And a medical transport aircraft will be put at their disposal. And right now, I do know that there's some serious documentary work happening over in like the South Pacific area. And there's some serious documentaries being filmed right now, worked on. And it's American production companies. So if the production companies might have already reached out to Tommy Jr. saying, hey, these are our shooting dates here. It's no problem for us because we have already a chartered jet. It would be no problem for us to have you and your dad on board. So he'll be people from the film industry, film and TV industry will reach out, and the offer of complimentary transportation will be extended to Tom Sr. Okay. Yeah, that's what's going on now. Like I said, and William has been on the phone with Donald, and he's conference called in Vlad, and they've already agreed on how to clean up the Islamic mess. They just have to get Chucky out of the way. Okay? Get Chucky away so then William can say, F you, dissolve Parliament, everything in the Commonwealth, say all brand new elections. And everything has to be legal, your proof of UK citizenship, and everything on a paper ballot. That's how he's going to fix it. Now, here in the States, okay, right, and the other thing is popping in. Here, let me put the link in case anybody wants to jump in. Some of the shit, okay, if you find this one channel, it's called Fall of Nations, and it's explaining a lot what's really happening, what really is going on between the various sections of being a Muslim. Now, the Shia is, they're the shitheads. They're the Islamic idiots. And some people have got, why do you support Saudi Arabia? I go, well, the Saudis follow the Wahhabi version. And you know what? The Wahhabi people, they have zero tolerance for shitheads. And if you go to Saudi now, you're going to see women walking around in skinny jeans and Izod Lacoste polo shirts and Louboutin heels. You're going to see women dressed like you and I here in America. The Saudis have zero tolerance for the extremist idiots. And that's one of the reasons why they're knocking the hell out of the Yemenites. I mean, back in the 70s, I admit it, the joke was, yeah, you could smell a Pakistani, a Paki Muslim, a block away. Like you could smell a Yemenite a mile away. That's how stinky shitty they were. And they always said, the Pakis, you don't want them around. They're trouble. Yeah. And these are the guys wearing, you know, the red scarves and a little headband. I mean, with gold on their thobes. That's what, I mean, one of the guys that used to call him, who actually was telling the stinky jokes about the Pakis and the Yemenites, we used to call him Mikey back then. He's now the Crown Prince. Uh-huh. Yeah. And let's put it this way. The icky ones are now sweating bullets because they know that all these assholes, I mean, they tried to take over the state of Minnesota. Ain't happening. They're all going to end up on planes going back to Africa, go back to Somalia. And right now, yeah, Idiot Omar, she's sweating bullets because once she goes back to her African country, she's going to have to live life according to the extreme Islamic doctrine. She's not going to be able to say one damn thing. And if she gets out of line, it's going to be, boom, she's going to be buried and stoned. And I don't mean with getting stoned from something smokable. That's why she's afraid. She's sweating bullets. She's pooping her pants. Because she knows what will happen to her. And we see a lot of these foolish women walking around in burqas and hijabs and chadors and stuff and niqabs. Yeah, they're saying how wonderful Islamic suppression is. but they don't want to go back to their country of origin because they know that because of their behavior and speaking out, they'll be taken out to the desert and buried up to their neck. They're all sweating bullets. They don't want that to happen. Okay? And it will. And because Tim Walsh and Cami Poop Harris were aware of what was going on with the Somali idiots in Minnesota, both of them are going to end up in deep, deep doo-doo because they were condoning terrorist behavior here in the United States. So expect, Timmy Walsh and stupid Cami Poop, both of them will be charged with treason. That's what I'm getting. Both of them will be charged with treason. And yeah, it's Solarian, yes. Because of the bullshit of the Islamic idiots, that's why the partition happened. Yeah. They kind of drew the line down the middle of India. Okay, all the Muslims on the east side went to East Pakistan. All the Muslims on the west side went to West Pakistan. And because East and West Pakistan couldn't work well together, because they're all little tribal groups, little clans. And that's how come East Pakistan was separated from West Pakistan back in the 70s, and it became Bangladesh. Yeah. And those Bangladesh Islamic idiots, they're the ones that are trying to go in and destroy, they're the ones that want to destroy Burma or Myanmar. And they're the ones that are also going into like Nepal and Tibet, trying to ruin shit. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Hey, they want to get, it's the Islamic idiots out of Bangladesh that want to bump off the Dalai Lama. Won't happen. And they're all going to be sweating, they're all sweating bullets now. They're like, oh shit, Maynard. Yeah. We've got, Mayorkas, Mendocino. He's on the list. He's done so much shit. He's on the list to get charged and get the silver handcuffs on. But right now they're putting together everything so it's airtight. They're just putting the case together. The paralegals are literally scrambling. They're working. They have to make sure that the paperwork that they have that they're going to slam in his face is airtight. But he is on the list. He is going to go down big time. Okay, doke. Now, one of the other things that we're going to see that's going to be really, really crazy, and I'm hoping that my Michigan people are, if you're watching today, please, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to post the link in so you can click in and jump in and chat, because Ted Nugent has now made the statement and is basically given everyone permission to play his song, Wang Dang Sweet Poo-Tang, in Dearborn, Michigan, and that general area. Start playing at 2 o'clock in the morning. Get your Fenders, get your Marshalls out. I mean, hey, you dudes with the boom boxes in the trunk, start playing it. Every time you hear a prayer call to prayer, pop it in that CD player and crank your car stereo up. Even here in the States, even here in the Chicago, if we hear somebody with that stupid call to prayer coming out of their minarets, Ted has basically given permission to everybody. Start playing a song. Wang dang sweet putang. Yeah, I'll pull up the link and drop it in the comments for you. But yeah. Ted Nugent. And yeah, you can go online, you can find him on X, and you can find him on Truth Social. And he puts up edited versions of his basically his chat show. The edited, sanitized version is here up on YouTube, but if you want to see unedited, he does mention on X, he puts the links to the other platforms where you can watch his unedited program, okay? Because he kind of does he uses colorful language, okay? I know I use it sometimes, but I'm not using it all the time. Not like some other people where every other word out of her mouth is F this, F that. I mean, gosh, yikes. But it's gonna happen. And yes, and one thing else that we have to remember, 84 years ago today, yeah, and it's about time that it would be hitting the news. Pearl Harbor. Yeah. Let everyone say a prayer to everyone who sacrificed their life and was injured. That's all. Everybody, please remember to say thank you to all the men and women in the Pacific Theater, starting with Pearl Harbor. And let's remember that fucking FDR knew about the attack 1 to 2 weeks ahead of time. But that criminal FDR allowed the massive destruction to happen. Just like FDR was denying visas of people who were trying to escape Hitler. Yeah, remember his Democratic Party. That's what the Democrats are all about. Is if you aren't going their crap ass way, they'll do what needs to be destroyed. They'll go after you. Yeah, Mendocino. Hey, yeah. Download Wang Dang Sweet Putang. Start playing it on your car stereos. You see some shitheads. Yeah, you see some idiot woman driving around with her job covering her face. Crank Ted up and make sure the windows are open and crank it, especially if you see them at a traffic light. You see some of these idiots, just start cranking Ted up. We've got to. And that'll really piss him off. Yeah, Ted bounces between his place in Michigan and his place down in Texas. Okay, doke. Now, let's put the link in one more time. Is there anybody who feels like jumping up and asking questions? Now, I want everybody to please remember, like I said, when you say your grace, when you give thanks for your dinner today, please remember to remember Pearl Harbor. And we also have to remember to pray and give thanks to Donald, JD, and strength for William. So when the time comes, he's able to fix his daddy's mess. And yeah, we have to keep Georgia. You know, hey, she's a knockout blonde. Georgia Maloney, Viktor Orban, and Vlad Putin. We got to keep them in our prayers and Javier down in Argentina. Okay? Yeah. Mendocino growl. Yeah, somebody they are very rare. But actually, Time magazine had already done a cover story on the bombing of Pearl Harbor that was already it was already printed. And it was all set to be put out on the, as soon as it happened. It was all set to be put out on the newsstands. Hi, Enki. Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. And yes, since we've got some new people popping in. Yeah, there's the link in case anybody wants to jump in, have any comments, have any questions. So everyone's more than welcome to jump in. Okay. Okay. The security agents were not talking to each other, so it was allowed to happen. Okay, let's put it this way. George Bush hadn't even been in office. He had just been in office 8.5 months. All the planning for that was done under the Clinton. Yeah. It was the Clinton admin that allowed all the planning to happen. Billy Clinton. Only knew Billy Clinton was also the dude that was Clinton had his wife Hillary pull in favors to get Bean Brain in the state senate, and then in Washington as a senator. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Enki. The blue butterflies. Let's put it this way. Okay. Remember, Melania is Eastern European, and the butterflies do have a kind of like good luck. In some of your Eastern European countries, a bluebird of happiness, blue butterflies, happiness and good luck. That's why they're on the tree. And if you look hard, you'll probably might even see a pickle. Yeah, a glass pickle hung on the tree. That's also, that's a German thing, Austro-Hungarian German thing. You put a pickle ornament, you hide it in the tree, and whatever kid finds it, the first kid to find it on Christmas Day, they get an extra treat, extra present. Yes, Mendocino. FDR was, let's put it this way. I used to hear my dad call him a fucking asshole. And my dad was in presidential transport. My dad flew Truman around. And Truman really, he said, Harry, give him hell, Harry. He had no respect for the asshole. He had to basically hold his nose while he had to be vice president. Okay. Yeah, what's another thing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like Eastern European. It's like you see a bluebird or blue butterfly. You can see the pickle in the tree. That's the German thing. There's a couple other things that I know that are like traditional. It's stuff basically for good luck and happiness and love in the family. That's what she did. And just like well, it's on Amazon Prime right now. If you look up the TV show Victorian Farm, well, they also have the Victorian Christmas on the farm thing on. So look it up, and they do go through a lot of traditions, like how you go and you sing to your animals, you sing Christmas carols, you wassail Christmas carols too, different things for a prosperous new year. Okay. And now let's see, next Sunday, let's put it this way. Next Sunday is going to be the 14th. That evening is the first night of Hanukkah. So yeah, I'll be cheating. I'll probably get one of the menorahs out early, and we'll start lighting the candles. So I know today is also an Advent Sunday, so remember to light your candles for Advent. It's like, yeah, I was raised in a dual household, one half Jewish, one half Catholic. So yeah, I grew up celebrating all the holidays. Definitely. Yeah. When I was a little kid, I went to a parochial school. And they asked, I was in 3rd grade, and the nun was going, oh, so what'd you do for Easter dinner? And I started telling her, and I got whacked by that psycho bitch of a nun. She goes, that isn't a Christmas dinner. And then it wasn't until years later that I realized our Easter dinner was actually a Seder dinner. Yeah. We used to have plastic grasshoppers on the table, and we used to flip them at each other. The hard-boiled eggs and this and that. Easter dinner in our house was a Seder dinner. Passover Seder. Yeah. Yeah, FDR is the reason why 2 terms. But it's, I think in the fine print it only says 2 consecutive terms. So we might be able to have Donald for 8 years consecutively. Okay? Which I hope so. But I have a feeling we're going to have JD and one of the boys. It'll be either Eric or Don Jr. with JD. Yeah. And then eventually we might have Big Tall Baron. Big time. Okay? It's going to be JD and one of the Trump kids. Okay? I know we are like, well, let's see what happens. Sadiq Khan, remember, once William is, and he's going to say general election across the board for every single thing. That's what he's going to do. Okay, dokie. Well, I've been on an hour, and I know everybody's got life. So everyone have a great week. If you have questions, just reach out. There's my email address down in the box. Please double check to make sure you're subscribed, because YouTube's doing its thing. And if you want to support the channel, yeah, there's Cash App now, and There's Venmo and PayPal, and you can buy me a coffee and all that other stuff. So everybody have a great week. Hope your holidays are going well. Remember, next Sunday starts Hanukkah. And we'll have a great time. Everyone have a wonderful week. If you have questions or issues, just shoot me an email. I'll get back to you if you have your phone number in there. If you're outside of the United States, make sure that your phone is hooked up to the WhatsApp, because that's what I use for international calls. Okay? So Larian, if you have a question, just shoot me an email. I mean, make sure your telephone is on the WhatsApp thing. That's good for international phone calls. Yeah, and I'll give you a shout back. Okie doke. Everyone have a great day. Have fun. And here in Chicago, we got like another 8 to 10 inches overnight. So everyone's digging out. So catch you later. Bye-bye.